there's something else we can do about these situations. I mentioned critical media literacy education a moment ago. So what I would like to do right now is I would like to introduce you to Chase Palmieri, who is the founder of Tribeworthy.com, whom I'm working with as an educational consultant and a coordinator to help get this kind of a platform, not just into classrooms as a way of rating sources, like Yelp or Rotten Tomatoes for restaurants and films. See, this is something you're all very familiar with. Why not have crowd-contested media where you can actually have users rate the accuracy of news stories, articles, and journalists based on critical media literacy skills and pointing out fallacies, so that you don't just get a like or a thumbs up or a thumbs down, you get reasons behind it and people are encouraged to participate. That's media democracy in action. So with that, I want to turn over this to Chase, and then we can have a discussion when he's done introducing some of these things to you. So thanks very much.
Hello, hello. All right, I would need about 3 cups of coffee to try to follow Mickey, but we'll do our best. So I think we'll do all right because I'm introducing you guys today to something that I think you all like. And I think you guys will like it because I am you maybe 1 or 2 years from now, and I like it. So I'm one of the co-founders of Tribeworthy, which is trust-rated online news. But before we get into that, let's talk about the title of this class, Media Ethics. What does that mean? Are we living in a world of media ethics right now? Who's deciding what is ethical media behavior? Is it the media itself that is holding the media accountable? Well, it seems like it. And what do we know about the media? Well, we know it's a for-profit industry, and we know that for-profit industries, like all for-profit industries, need to be able to measure their success. And so how does a media organization measure its success? Not with ethics, but with metrics. So can anyone yell out some metrics that the media cares a lot about these days? Ratings. Some more? Revenue, advertising revenue. Clicks, I think I heard. Views, likes, shares. Okay, these are all the metrics that the media cares about today. Are any of those metrics doing anything good for you, the public? Well, I think we're seeing that play out. And if we don't change the metrics and try to realign the financial incentives of the media organizations, we're just going to keep rinsing and repeating. So, what is the solution? Well, the solution is to create the people's measure of media success. And that's what I'm here to talk about. And we're going to do that in the same way that Rotten Tomatoes helped hold the film industry accountable, and the same way that Yelp has held restaurants and local businesses accountable, by introducing a new metric, by introducing the people's metric of success. So this movement is not called Tribeworthy. We're just the ones that are kicking the door open. And if somebody can do it better than us and provide a better service, then good for them and they should win. But this movement is called crowd-contested media. And you guys are part of it. And we're going to be rolling out to about 30+ college campuses, including this one, very soon. And Tribeworthy, the website, tribeworthy.com, launched just this week. So bear with the design of the site. It's the ugliest it will ever look. Okay, so let's get into it. Tribeworthy.com, here we are. Now, as you can see, we've got your image, your headline, but what's different than other media organizations or other media websites is that we're showing you a Tribeworthy rating. Now, Tribeworthy is just a play on the word trustworthy, but as decided by our tribe of users, which would be all of you. Now, unlike other websites where you could like the article or maybe comment below the article, what you would do on Tribeworthy is you would review the article as trustworthy or not trustworthy. And that's not it, because that wouldn't be enough, right? So if you select not trustworthy, we're going to prompt you into the critical media literacy framework step-by-step process here. And the point of this is to make the review process as objective as possible. So let's say that there was a logical fallacy in the argument. All right, you select logical fallacy. Here's a list of the most common logical fallacies. You've got a description and an example of each right there if you need it. And if this is too much work for you and you're in a hurry, skip it. That's fine. We still want your feedback. Let's go to another one, for example. Let's say that the article is heavily biased. Well, that's not enough to say, so now you have to select the actual type of bias. You need to be skilled enough to identify the type of bias that you're seeing in that article. So was it a corporate bias? Was it a promotional bias? They were trying to promote an agenda towards you. Was it a national or regional bias based on location? Or was it a gender bias or religious bias? You guys get the point. There's a mistake in the article. Was it that the science was misrepresented? So maybe the source document that they were referencing, maybe they were twisting the study in a way that misrepresented the truth behind it. Was there a misused image or video? I don't know if you guys know this, but a common thing that's happening these days is you'll come across an article and you'll read through and you'll see images, and those images aren't even necessarily having anything to do with the issue that they're talking about in the article. So for example, if there was a terrorist attack, they might show you a picture of a terrorist attack from 5 years ago, and it's not always on purpose, because sometimes they're given an image because the person that gives them the image is often paid out, and so they're often given images that aren't actually in relation to the subject that they're covering. So that's just one possible issue, or a misused term. And then just generally, is the article outdated? Has there been more recent information? Is this not up to date? So that's the trustworthy workflow. That's the not trustworthy workflow. The trustworthy workflow is much simpler because you've established that that is some credible information. So there's only one thing to ask you next is, does it matter? Yeah, you might have written an objective, trustworthy article on the ratio of Kim Kardashian's ass, but that doesn't mean anything to us. It's not important. The significance level would be a 1. And the beauty of this is that when you've come across an article online, now you'd be able to come to Tribeworthy, just like when you see a new movie comes out in theaters and you go to Rotten Tomatoes to check the rating first. You could come to Tribeworthy, click on the rating, and we would provide you with a breakdown of the most reviewed problems with that article. So was it a particular type of fallacy, a particular type of bias, all the things that we just mentioned. You would get a breakdown of the people that said it was trustworthy and the people that said it was not trustworthy, and the ones that said it was not trustworthy, what were the problems. This has been about a year in preparation, but now we're going to hit the ground running, and we need you guys to be running with us. So let's see, what else do I need to get to here? So the beauty of this is not only are we attaching a trustworthy rating, our Tribeworthy rating, to an article, but we can take that same rating and apply it to the author that wrote it, as well as the source that allowed its publication. So we can start to create actual trust ratings for individual authors and news sources, as well as the lifetime URL of an article. So this is going to be very beneficial for us when we want to know which authors we should trust, which news sources we should trust. And another thing you may have noticed is that we don't have the author or news outlet listed here next to the article. And the whole reason for that is that we want to give small independent news outlets that are doing great work, small outlets that are writing objective pieces, we want to give them a level playing field to compete against the brand name outlets like the New York Times and the Huffington Post and others. So, we cannot have a reliable media until we have a liable media. Currently, there's no way of holding the media accountable. We saw it. There were protests in front of CNN during the Bernie Sanders revolution, and quite frankly, it didn't do anything because the lies and the misinformation are not on the streets. They're online. So we have to go meet them where they are. So if the media, which is supposed to be holding the powerful accountable, if they're not holding the powerful accountable, then we need to start to hold the media accountable. And that's what this is. So I'll finish by saying that protests are great. They can energize people, they can build awareness, but I don't think protesting is going to solve our media problems. And I don't think you guys do either. So let's go meet them where they are. Let's not let them get away with what they are getting away with. And let's remind the media that the people's trust is the only thing worth measuring. Boom.
So, questions, answers, comments, I don't know about answers, but questions, comments, discussions up front?
Does the website Tribeworthy actually link you to the article themselves to read?
Yes, let me show you how that works. Just like that. And we would open it in a new tab so that, say you read this article, okay, you read the article, you come back. Okay, you come back to the website and now you could review that article.
Okay, so the only reason why it doesn't have the title of the source is so it doesn't deter you away from reading the article.
Exactly. We don't want you to not read an article because of your own prejudice ahead of time. And the whole point of Tribeworthy is it's not a left-wing organization, it's not a right-wing organization. In fact, just amongst us co-founders, we have all different types of political ideologies. So the point is media literacy and objectivity as the framework for a review process. And let's open up some information to people that might not have otherwise found it. What we will be doing is when you click on the details, though, you would, we're revamping the details display, so there's going to be a lot more information here, but that is where you would be able to see the author and the source itself.
Other questions, comments, remarks, snark, feedback?
Yep, over there.
So for the website, is there a way, so I know like a few weeks ago it came out, or there was some journalist did something about Reddit, how that can be manipulated with bots and farms from overseas, just kind of, so you guys have a way to kind of combat that?
Yes, we do. That's a great point, actually, and the reason that we have, a lot of the reviews we have on the platform right now are bot generated. So we have bots in there just to show you guys what a populated rating would look like. But as soon as we have some more users, which we're going to as we're rolling out to 30 colleges this month, we're going to remove the bots from our platform. But to your point on what are you going to do to keep people from trolling, or I guess that's part of what you're asking, but you're talking more about bots in specific. But what we're going to be doing on the platform is having users themselves accountable in building their own trust rating over time, which will lead to a weighted review based on their rating. So just like on Yelp, a certain user's review might stay at the top of that feed for longer than others because that person has built trust on the platform.